big excitement here. This is the all-new Fairline Phantom 65. It's the first time there's been a Phantom in the range for many years, and it is their very first sports bridge model. So it is based on the hull of the Fairline Squadron 68, but with a sportier line, a smaller flybridge up top, and even more performance. So let's start with a few of the basics. So starting price for this model is just over £2 million ex taxes. That is with the standard Caterpillar C18 1150 engines. This one is fitted with the bigger C32 1600s, which pushes the price up a bit. It is just over 65 foot in length with a beam of 17 foot 2 inches. So let's jump on board and start to take a look. And there is a lot going on, even at the stern here, there's a whole lot going on. So there's obviously the hydraulic platform itself, and then there's a multitude of different hatches and garages under here. So I'll try and talk through them very quickly, but you can see this folds down. That becomes a lovely little bench, and when the platform is dropped into the sea, that's almost like a mini beach club area. If we lift up this one here, you can see that is actually a shower. So you've got the shower head up here, controls down there. Pop that down. Then under here, there is yet another storage hatch. They've got some of the cushions in there, but you could throw ropes and fenders in there, whatever you like. And then, more importantly, this whole garage lifts up and gives access to the tender itself. We can't do that here, there isn't quite enough space to do it, but there is room for a Williams 345 in there. So that's a really substantial jet tender that you can ski behind, great for water sports, all the rest. And then it still carries on under these steps. If we lift them up, there is in fact a crew cabin. So quite how they fitted a crew cabin and a tender garage in here is a bit of a mystery, but we'll soon find out. So drop down here, and actually, first thing you think is, wow, there's a decent amount of space in here. There's floor room, got the loo, basin, bit of storage, and then you go, hang on a minute, where's the bed? Because it doesn't look like there's quite enough room to sleep under there, but hey presto, that slides out. I'm not going to put it all the way because there's a carbon fibre mast there, but you can see that pulls out, this folds over, and then you have a bed too. So we're not kidding ourselves, it's not a huge cabin, but nevertheless very handy to have a crew cabin on a boat this size. So we'll just close that down. Here we go. Drop that back down into place, and then we can go up into the cockpit. Actually, let's go the other way because there's something else I wanted to show you up here. There is of course a hydraulic passerelle that comes out of there, give access to the key. But you can see, first up, obviously lovely big sun pad over the tender garage, a couple of cup holders, and then you'll notice here there is another hatch, and that folds up with the cushions and is a really good big Fender stowage locker. So really handy to have that exactly where you need it at the stern, easy access, no faffing about with cushions, job done. All the normal stern gear, and then lovely cockpit area here. So they've done something really quite clever here too. So first up, there is life raft stowage under there. I'm not going to bother to show you that, but you can take my word for it, there is a life raft in there. And then this fantastic table here, so it's a big triangular shaped table. You think, well, okay, very lovely for people sitting on either side. Where are the others going to sit down? First up, there's some stools in here that lift out. Now these are quite clever too, because they can go at two different heights. So they're either that height when you're sitting inside the table, but if you lift that top up, I can't really do it one-handed, but that lifts up, swivels round, and then you have a higher level stool if you want to sit out here too. But more importantly, there's a rather neat solution over here. So obviously nice to have access to both side decks from the cockpit, but with this very simple pull-out cushion, you can also slide that across, and now you've got a complete wrap of seating all the way around to make the most of that big table. So very nice simple solution, pulls out, slides in, job done. Let's take a quick tour of the decks while we're here. Very smart teak side decks, nice and wide, handrails up above and down below. Easy to walk up to this bow area, and again a fantastic space up here. Now look at that big wrap of seating, two big sunbeds either side, lots of nice detailing, got pop-up lights in there, really lovely. Again, fantastic stowage lockers either side. I'm not sure I'm going to be able to do that one-handed, but oh, there we go. Take my word for it, there is another Fender Locker in there. So Fenders easily accessed where and when you need them. No faffing about having to rummage in hard to find lockers. Lovely walk-through, gives a nice secure feeling. There's a table here, just enough height. It's relatively low level seating, but there's just enough height to make this a comfortable place to sit and not feel like your knees are up round your ears. And you can see that table also tucks up and folds in under those seats, so that underway, or when you leave it, when you have to leave it for a few weeks or months, you can put it all away and it's nicely and safely stowed. All the usual bag gear, exactly where you need it. Access to the chain locker, the windlass, very smart stainless steel chain on that. And again, full walk around decks, another big locker there. And safely back into the cockpit. So let's have a look at the big new feature on this. Well, hang on, actually, whilst we're in the cockpit, I probably ought to just show you here. We've also got controls for the sunshade. So if you notice up there, there's a huge sunshade. Press that button once and that very neatly folds back in. But again, very nice to have that sun awning going all the way out over the actual sun pad itself. So very neat feature there. But more to the point, this is the access up to the new sport bridge. So really nice wide teak steps, good shallow rise on the steps, so easy to get up and down. And let's do that for ourselves. Up we go. Now what's so clever about this is that even though it's got those lovely sporting lines, there is a really decent sized flybridge up here. So it's not some apology or just an external helm station. It is a proper flybridge you can use with plenty of people. All your guests can easily fit up here. There's two very smart helm seats on individual supports, really quite funky actually, and you can see they also slide backwards and forwards on those, but very stylish, comfortable, proper helm seats. Really good helm position. Fairline do a great job of their helms. They just seem to get it right. It looks right, it feels right, everything is easy to reach. Controls for those two Caterpillar engines, twin Garmin MFDs, remote for them if you don't want to stretch across, and of course proportional thrusters. So those are electric proportional thrusters, but just means that you have got bow and stern thrusters to help maneuver yourself onto the berth. And there's even a little hold button, so if you come alongside a berth you can press hold and that'll just keep you pinned against the dock until you get the ropes on. Really handy feature. Adjustable height or adjustable angle steering wheel. You can see that that tilts up and down to suit your particular driving style. Right at the front of the flybridge, so fantastic view forward. Really good seating area around here. You can see that that also lifts up. There's storage under there, and that also slides out to turn that whole area into a big sunbed. But really nice to have room for people to sit around, keep the skipper company when you're underway, and also a kind of sociable, cozy spot to hang out. But the main seating area is actually further aft, and again really nice secure feeling. So even though it's a very sporty low profile look, it is a good deep flybridge. It's not like you're perched on top of a slightly precarious platform. They've got good tall backrests all around it, plenty of seating, you feel nice and secure. There is a bimini hood over the top here, and even though it is a fabric bimini hood, they've also managed to integrate LED lights into here, but that can obviously all fold away if you want to enjoy the full sunshine, but also very nicely shaded when you need a bit of respite. Lovely teak table, they always do very nice job of that, beautifully done. and even a proper wet bar up here. So sink, smeg grill, and fridge and ice maker. So relatively compact, but all here, all close to hand, all the facilities you would get on a normal conventional flybridge. Obviously not as big as the Squadron, but that's a full-length flybridge. This is the sportier look, and in many ways I guess you could say the best of both worlds. You get the nimbler handling, the sportier profile, but you still have a very usable flybridge. Let's drop back down, go into the saloon. Hi there. So aft galley layout, again really good connection between the outside cockpit space and the interior saloon. You've got lovely sheltered spot here, but you can see that there is a drop down section here. So this is an electric drop down section that rises up and down and seals off that, and then the other doors slide all the way over under the flybridge stairs so that they're completely out of the way. Very cleverly done. It just works very neatly. I'm just wondering if we can actually demonstrate. No, that's not the right one for that. We'll find out in a minute. Okay, so here is the galley itself. There's a full height fridge freezer. That's obviously the fridge section. Always like to see nice secure handles so that when you are at sea there's no danger of them popping open if there's a bit of a rolly moment. Very nice layout. We've got Miele induction hob, overhead cupboards, more storage under here. They're really good at using every little bit of space. The sink is under here, oven, and even this little bar area here. When you open that up, you can see there is a beautiful lit glass cabinet. They haven't got many of the glasses in there at the moment. There's just a couple of tumblers underneath, but you can see all beautifully lit, very secure. You hang your wine glasses in here, tumblers underneath, bottles down below. And under this seating section there is also a very clever pull out section. Where can I, where do I can't find it. Oh, there it is. There's the latch. There we go. So there you can see all the crockery neatly stowed under that settee. Very clever. Just need to know where to find the latch. It's a little bit deeper than you think. And then big table here. You can see these fold out leaves come all the way out, and there's a nice seating section there, and then those two freestanding stools that obviously mean you can sit on both sides of the table and make sure that all your guests are comfortable. Really nice stylish look about it. What they've done is keep all the darker woods down below waist height, and then up above that they try to keep everything nice and pale, make the most of the light in here. Now there are various different wood options. This is the walnut. You can also get a lighter oak, and you can choose either to have the satin finish, which you've got here, or a full gloss finish if you like the more traditional look. Very comfortable seating area. A little bit, there's a tiny little lip step there, but barely noticeable. Big comfortable seating area here. High-low television rises up out of there. That's on a little remote control, so very comfortable to sit here of an evening, watch the TV opposite, or just sit and chat because you've got that other sofa facing it. Now, because of that shorter flybridge, one of the other big advantages is you get a lovely big sunroof over this forward section of the saloon. So much like a sort of hardtop sports cruiser, you can open that up. I might just see if I can start that process. It takes a little bit of time because there is a hydraulic seal that makes sure that stays absolutely watertight at all times. It just means it takes a little bit longer because before the roof itself can open, it's just got to let that seal deflate. But you can see there are glass panels under those blinds that make sure you can enjoy plenty of natural light even when the roof is closed. But when you open it up, it feels much more like a sports cruiser than a flybridge. Obviously it's not quite as big an opening as you get on a sports cruiser because you've got that flybridge section behind it, but to all intents and purposes it is very much filling that role of being the best of both worlds. So open that up, it's over the forward section of the saloon. It's over the helm station itself, and it just promotes a lovely flow of air as well as light into the heart of the boat, if you like. So a little bit more storage under there. This is quite a neat feature. So the whole boat is rigged with the Sonos system, the wireless music system, but as well as having the plumbed in speakers, there are also these little mobile ones which you can pick up, you can move into the cabin, take up the flybridge, or even take to the beach with you. They're all waterproof, charged. It just means you've got a full mobile sound system as well as the one built into the boat itself. Really good helm area, 2 big seats, 3 screens, the full MFD touch screens, repeating everything that you had on the flybridge. Those are those thrusters again. I won't go through the whole process, but you get the picture. The 3 big touchscreen Garmin MFDs, a smaller 4th one, nice little locker here for valuables as well as the actual keys for the starting the boat, footrest so that when you're perched up on here your feet don't dangle down, and little touches like this tray, for example, is a wireless phone charger too, so you put your phone down on there and it'll charge whilst it's there. Even here, another example, look at that, just tiny little unused space. So being Fairline, they built a locker in there. Now when you go downstairs, there's a number of different options you can have, a number of different layout options. So the standard layout is a 3 cabin arrangement. There is a forward VIP, a full beam owners aft, a 3rd cabin over to starboard, and then a day heads here. There is also an option to have a 4 cabin layout, so this would then become the 4th cabin, just a bunk cabin, but it does mean you can sleep 2 extra people. Or what this boat has is called the extended VIP. So here, if we come in and have a look, this is the VIP cabin, and central island bed, ensuite bathroom back behind me here, lots of stowage either side, but you can see that in this extended version you get all this extra floor space. And I know, you know, floor space, it shouldn't be that exciting in itself, but it just gives a really good impression of extra space, and it feels much more special when you come into the cabin. You've still got the ensuite bathroom. The only difference is you don't have a separate day heads too. So in this layout, this bathroom, you also have the access from the central area here, so that you can access it and use that bathroom as the day head. So standard option, you have a separate day heads and an ensuite bathroom. In this extended VIP, you share the bathroom but have a much bigger forward VIP cabin. So we've already had a little bit of a look around here, but just point out you've got a big hanging locker there, decent sized, decent sized hull windows on either side, overhead hatch, storage lockers all around up above the bed, very nice bed lights, more storage, little vanity unit, big mirror, TV in the bulkhead, and then more storage around this extended part. The ensuite bathroom, really good size. You know, again, because they're not trying to squeeze 2 bathrooms in here, you just have more room all around. Lovely walk-in shower, nice light features, nice light coloured wood walls. I don't think they are wood, but you can see a kind of wood grain in there, but it helps keep it very nice and light and bright. Little storage area for your towels or your toiletries. Lovely sized bathroom. So I mentioned there is a twin cabin over here. You can see that there are 2 separate beds. Good headroom in here too, actually. So even standing here, there is plenty of room above me. Not the largest beds in the world, but one nice feature is you can bring the 2 beds together if you want to. Electrically, they can slide together, so you can make that into another double cabin if you want to. And it is ensuite, has its own bathroom here. Obviously not quite as big as the owners of the VIPs, but you do get a proper separate walk-in shower, your own heads, sink, mirrors, storage, all the usual stuff. And then let's carry on further back. Now I should have mentioned that there is one further option, in fact, and you can have that space there as a utility room. It's something Fairline used to do on some of their older boats, and although it seems like a bit of a waste of space just to have a kind of storage utility room, if you don't need all those extra beds, it's really handy to have a utility room that you can pile all the stuff that you tend to take with you on your travels. Access to all the breaker switches down here on the way into the cabin. Oh, give that a little bit of a shove. There you go. And a washer dryer tucked in there too. Oh. And then into the owner's cabin itself. Full beam, full headroom. I mean, there's a good 4 or 5 inches over my head. Really good sized cabin. Big, comfortable bed. Big comfy sofa on this side, lots of storage, TV built into the bulkhead, very stylish design, lots of textures and different colour and feature of leather. And also, I should point out, all these doors have this rather lovely quilted maple inset. Again, it's a little bit of a throwback to the Phantoms of old, where high gloss burr walnut and so on was a really distinctive feature, but again it just adds a bit more detail. Now moving back here, there is a really big, not quite a walk-in wardrobe, but it does go all the way around, beautifully lit, sectioned up into little lockers so you can put your valuables or your socks or however you want to arrange it. And then there's also a little hidden one behind here. Quite fancy, isn't it? You wouldn't even know it's there, so it's almost a secret space, but full height hanging locker for your big maxi dresses or whatever it may be. And then into the bathroom itself, really generous size, lots of storage under there, loo in the corner, and a proper big walk-in shower, which is frankly almost a room in its own right, but really big, spacious shower. Okay, so let's make our way back up top. Just beginning to get a little bit busier on board, but let's make our way back up and show you the final part of the equation. So I'm just going to have a quick look in the engine room if I can. Access to the engines is down through this hatch in the cockpit. I can lift it up and show you the ladder down, but I think I'm going to have to cut there and make my way down that rather steep ladder because it looks a bit too tricky to do that one-handed. So I'll get down there and start refilming once I'm there. So here we are down in the engine room itself. It is quite busy down here. You can see these are the extra size, the larger Cat C32 engines with 1650 horsepower each, and these give the boat a really impressive speed of 37 knots. So it doesn't just look sporty, it genuinely is quick for a boat of this size too. Now these are straight shaft engines. They like to keep things nice and simple at Fairline, so straight shafts out the back. Let's finish up back on the foredeck of the Fairline Phantom 65. I hope you've enjoyed this tour of it. Thank you very much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you on the next one.